don't do them. You know, I think that some of them can be quite mind-altering, actually open your mind to quite a few things, you know, and I think that most drugs used in moderation in the correct situation with the right knowledge and like maybe the right group of friends can actually give you like a really good and interesting experience. You know, I think it's quite good fun in that extent.
Oh, that's so perfect.
Sorry, I was actually on the phone to my mum earlier talking about this because she's got a kid in school that's just like asked her about drugs and she was like, oh, I'll ask you. So I've literally had this conversation with my mum like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, we were talking about it, weren't we? That we basically, all the research that we've done is basically all to do with like what science is with drugs and like, which drugs you should take and which drugs like, you shouldn't take. Not necessarily for recreational purposes.
But
like,
so is that based on the Channel 4 MDMA drug trials?
Yeah,
is that? Yeah, that was really I really enjoyed that. It was really good looking at it in a scientific view. Yeah.
But yeah, basically all of the research doesn't correlate with like the way that it's categorised and all the government stuff, and it's just like, and they're like, oh, everyone's taking heroin, oh, don't take this, don't take that, but they put like marijuana in the same category.
Yeah.
So like people try that, I think, well, if they've lied about this,
then exactly, absolutely, and that's why I think like even that, you know, I'm not necessarily saying legalise it, but I think it's important that even though they are illegal, people have drug education. You know what I mean, and understand what it is that maybe they are going into.
So that's what I'm hoping, like these kind of pictures will then go to like places, or like doing series of pictures which are completely scientifically correct.
Yeah.
So that they can be put on like places like Talk to Frank and that, so people can
see. Yeah,
because
Talk to Frank's very propaganda. Yeah. There's another website called Erowid. Yeah, it's called Erowid. It's like an online drug website, but it's got the scientific facts and user information. So like as a user you can go on and type your experience about the drugs. Obviously you have the bad and the good sides up there, so it leaves you to like read about it and then actually make more of an informed decision, whereas Talk to Frank is very drugs are bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like realistically the summary of Talk to Frank is don't do drugs, isn't it?
You know, like, I did like the fact that even though it's made by the government, that it just told you like scientifically what they do, and like the what you should feel and like how.
Yeah, I just think the user information is quite good because, you know, it's got on there people saying, like, I did it with a group of people that I wasn't very familiar with and maybe that's why I had a bad experience, you know, which is all that kind of information that, you know, there are certain drugs you shouldn't do with people that you don't know. You know, they might make you feel a bit off and give you a bad trip or a bad vibe and then you end up walking home like, oh my God, you know, like, what is tonight about? You know, yeah, but that's where education's important.
Right, what drugs have you taken?
Well,
what are the good and bad experiences that you've had?
I smoke cannabis every day. I don't really drink, so to me, rather than going home and having a glass of wine, I go home and have a spliff. That's sort of just my thing, you know, and I don't really see any harm in that. I occasionally dabble in MDMA, but it has to be for quite a big night out or a birthday or, you know what I mean, it's not something that I do every weekend. Yeah, or just a big night, you know, so like if Rigsmith are hosting a full weekender, then maybe one of those nights we will definitely sort of get on it and take a bit of MD and have a party night, you know, like mushrooms, I do it at mushroom season, which is right now, or was a couple of weeks ago, so yeah, I love taking mushrooms, that's quite good fun, but I like doing that with a good group of friends. I've done pills, I've done speed, coke, I tried that bubble stuff, but it's absolutely vile, and I don't like drugs that there isn't any scientific information on, and like I can see a 60-year-old man that's done coke all his life and be like, okay, if I chose that path, that's what I'd become, you know, whereas I can't look at someone that's 60 and been doing bubble because it only came out 5 years ago, and I kind of don't trust it. I'm a bit of an old school drug user.
Yeah, we were talking about Annika the other day, what was that other one?
Methox, and there's that
That's what you were on about.
And then methoxetamine, which is like the new
That's
ketamine.
What you were on about.
Yeah, and that's like, a friend of mine's been taking that for a long time, and he's actually down at Salvation Army now. He's lost his flat, he's lost everything. Like, he's had really violent attacks. Another friend of mine that took methoxetamine ended up in Glenbourne because he went schizophrenic, mixing methoxetamine with methadone. Like, and that's what I mean by the new kind of experimental drugs. To me, they're experimental. You know, I like ones that I understand.
been around for a while.
Yeah, I know that might. I don't know. It is a bit old, I suppose, or old school. But I like information. I don't like taking something that I don't know. You know, if a friend says to me on a night out, "Oh, I've got this. Do you want to try it?" I'll be like, "Maybe next time." And then I'll go home, look it up on Erowid, and be like, "Yeah," or "No." But I just would rather be like that than be like, "Yeah, why?"
Okay. Can you list like your particularly worst experiences and what they were and why you think it was?
God, I actually remember. I think dance academy. It's quite funny actually. Now thinking about it. I was about 15. I was in dance academy, and it was my second ever time doing pills. The first time I'd taken pills, they were ketamine based, so obviously they were quite sort of drowsy. And these ones were called Sharks, and they had acid in them, which I was not aware of, obviously being 15 and being not informed about drugs. And I took one. After half an hour I was like, I'm not feeling anything, and I'm at dance academy. Took another one, and then literally spent the next 6 hours projectile vomiting into the toilet in dance academy, hugging the leather sofa like, and that was when I decided that I was going to be informed on what I was doing, because I think I then spent the next 3 days in bed with a hot water bottle, just like, "Mummy, like, I'm sorry, like, please don't hate me, just love me right now." I'm too fragile to handle life. But yeah, I think that was probably my worst one. And like, it's not really necessarily me having like a bad night, but I really hate people that have taken too much. Like, if I'm out and I've like taken a bit of MD and I'm having a really good time, people around me that are just too messy just make me want to go home. Like, and I don't know, it's that to me becomes a bad experience, because then I'm not enjoying my night, you know what I mean? And I end up just wanting to go home and having a cup of tea and a spliff and like not be anywhere near any of them. I don't know. I don't like grimy people. They make my they put me in a bad mood, so therefore ruin my drug experience.
Do you find that you overanalyse them when you're on things, and that's why?
Yeah, I think that if I was sober, they wouldn't bug me halfway near as much. But yeah, because like I'm really happy and they're being a bit like grumpy, I'm just like, "What are you doing?" Like, yeah, get out of my face. No. But
what about the particularly good experiences, and what were they on?
Mushrooms. Mushrooms were one of my best experiences. It was before they became illegal, so like you could buy like Mexican ones, and we bought a load of them, and there were like loads of people I knew and loads of people I didn't, and we went up to Dartmoor and we went to Wistman's Woods, which is like a really magical place on Dartmoor, and yeah, we just took loads and loads of shrooms, and it was just great. Like it's really beautiful up there anyway. I've been back since, like straight-headed, and it's beautiful, but when we were there, it's like the trees are only 6 foot tall and the rocks are like boulders, so the proportions are all out of whack, and you feel a bit kind of like in fairyland. So obviously being on shrooms at the same time, it was just like, that was so great. And I made so many friends during that experience, because there were so many of us that didn't know each other, and by the end of it I speak to loads of them now still, and I think that was maybe 4 years ago. So yeah, it was really good.
Like, how do you think of yourself as a person? Do you think that you're more open-minded than more people, just as a general person? Do you find that you have like more tolerance?
Yeah, I would probably say so. I accept quite a lot of things. I don't really like whether people take drugs or whether people, you know, like I don't know. I'm not really a very narrow-minded person anyway. I don't sort of look at anyone with disabilities and think, you know, oh, they've got disabilities. It's just they're who they are, and that's great, you know. So yeah, maybe. But I think I'm less tolerant of people that are really against stuff. I think, you know what I mean? It makes me really kind of like, why are you so narrow-minded? Like, you know what I mean? And it's just really sort of like...
Gives me a reason.
Yeah, it's, you know, I don't know, I think maybe because I am so free-spirited and open-minded, it makes me more, like, less tolerant of narrow-minded people, definitely. Like, yeah, I don't have time for them, I just can't. If you're going to be like that about something, then I just won't speak to you. You know, that's fine. Like, it's much easier that way. So we'll only end up arguing, and we don't need that. So yeah.
Anything that you want to ask?
No. Like,
You covered
yeah,
all most of it.
a lot of views that
Any drugs that I would like to try?
Yeah,
Or
anything that you'd like, that you particularly think is downplayed is the word, do you reckon?
Yeah.
Like, which drugs do you think are the ones that are downplayed, or the ones that like
Are viewed at really
are
bad.
viewed really wrong, and then which ones do you think are like they should be?
Well, cannabis instantly, not necessarily legalised, maybe decriminalised. You know, like I'm on the fence about that argument. Like that's obviously a bit different. I'd kind of rather be able to be legally allowed to grow my own than I would pay the government tax for having it. So I'd probably prefer decriminalisation. But yeah, I think that's massively frowned upon in the wrong way. You know, yes, it can still be abused, but like just about health, it fixes so much, even if not as a recreational drug, health-wise. So many people use it. People with MS and MA, it stops them twitching, and like, you know, there's videos of a guy doing a bong. I mean, like before he's like literally like this, and like watching him load the bong is so like sad. And then he like pulls it, and the shakes just like they're still there, but they're so much calmer, you know. And it's just like if that does that to him, why are we not allowed it on a medical basis?
Yeah.
So like cannabis massively.
There's so many that I think are medically, they should be allowed for medical purposes, even if they
Yeah.
take it and like do it themselves and prescribe it rather than
Yeah, absolutely.
rather than
Like yeah, but it's just something that really should be looked at. And like I don't know, I think some psychedelic drugs should be reconsidered. I've read a book called Food of the Gods, which is all about drugs and how we actually evolved through the use of psychedelic drugs when we were sort of back in animal stage, you know, like, and that was what brought us language and things. And like, I think to learn about yourself and to have a more open-minded view on the world, some psychedelic drugs are definitely looked at in the wrong way.
What did we look at when we were
The Changa and DMT? Yeah, it's one that is up there on my list of drugs I want to try. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people have told me that it will like really do me some good as well. You know, and make me sort of like think about the world quite nicely. And like apparently it's quite a good drug to draw on.
Yeah, it's really short term as well.
Yeah, that's what I like because I don't ever really want to do acid. It's too much of a prolonged trip for me. I like that control. Like that element of, you know what I mean, of knowing that at some point it's going to finish, where with acid, 2 days later I could still be like fluxing and I'll be like, wow.
That's what I would say, isn't it? That's why I don't want to try it.
Yeah, that's my main reason for not wanting to try that. Again, that's why I like shrooms, because it is long, but it's not very dramatic.
It's very tired.
Yeah, you know, it's fine, whereas to me acid is just a bit of a like, nah, I don't want to go near that. But yeah, DMT, I really want to try that. That's definitely up there. But I don't know, and I think ketamine needs to be gone. I have a real thing against ketamine. I've seen it ruin a lot of lives, and I've seen it just like, not even necessarily lives, but ruin a lot of people. Like, I've got some friends that have taken it and their health is just, it's horrible. Like, they're still at college and they've still got a flat and they've still got a job or whatever. Like, you know, it's not crushed their lives in that sense, but they're just ill. And like, you can see it, and I don't know, it's just a bit. And to me, there's nothing worse than sitting in a room with all your friends, all in your own little kale, not talking to one another. Drugs for me are about like getting together and having fun. So yeah, why would you want to dribble by yourself in a corner, basically?
I've got an issue with the fact that that's a class C and
Cannabis is a class, but yeah, absolutely, that's what I mean, you know? Like that, the classing system needs totally re-looking at.
Yeah.
The only reason cannabis has been put as a class B is because so many people use it.
Yeah.
It's like their protest of saying, no, it's really bad, you have to stop. And it's like, well, if, maybe 70% of the population have tried it or are smoking it, then that probably says something, you know, about it. Like, and gateway annoys me, this whole idea of like the gateway drug.
Yeah, we really look a lot on that.
Yeah, I think the only reason maybe cannabis is a gateway drug is because of the classing system.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, if it's on the same class system as heroin, or then you're thinking, oh, well, that's right, if they're all class B, then I'll do them, you know, and that's what makes it the gateway. Like, I don't think cannabis necessarily leads to And because of your dealers, you know, some dealers are dodgy. You go to a dealer to get some weed, and they are like, I'll have a pill, mate. They're really good. They don't explain to you the chemical pros and cons of that, do they? So if drugs were like legal or more controlled, or there was more information, then again it would stop gateway drugging, I think, if you see what I mean.
Having places where we are government.
Yeah.
Having places that were like,
Places where you can go to take drugs safely.
Is that on the internet?
No.
Oh. Oh, that's your idea. Yeah, no, but I can't. Yeah, no, but why not? Like, why not have that? Like, somewhere that you can go that is safe and that you know you can have that experience, and other people there will be the same, and there won't be someone maybe shouting at you for doing drugs or, you know, whatever. And like
separate cubicles for it or something.
that would be awesome if you could go in and have like a line bar. That would be amazing. Loads of mirrors. Like chopped already for you to go with, like, I don't know, some sort of safety blade somehow so that you couldn't cut yourself, but you know, a little chopper of some description. I'd love that. That's really bad, isn't it?
The thing is, like, it's human nature to want to alter your perception of reality.
Exactly. This is what like Food of the Gods talks about. It says how it's like our way of trying to understand bigger things and explore ourselves, you know, like it's a way of answering questions that we don't know how to answer, you know, by taking those, you might not answer it, but it gives you a clearer idea. And like, yeah, I don't know. I definitely think taking drugs has helped me solidify who I am, if you see what I mean. Like, I definitely stand for a lot, and I know what I'm passionate about and what I like, you know what I mean? I think that's definitely happened through drug taking as well, or it's definitely helped, like.
The Vice magazine, we were reading the Vice magazine and like its articles in it, and it said like a list of things that you should do to like clarify who you are, and it was like if you're a boy, have a fight with your dad, and like.
Yeah, but you know, I think little things like that are true, and maybe taking drugs is a rite of passage in that sense. You know what I mean? Like of discovering who you are and what you want to do. I know some people that have smoked a spliff, and it's totally, you know, their bodies have totally rejected it, and that's fine. You're obviously not made for it then, but. That doesn't mean that maybe you shouldn't try shrooms, or, you know, I'm like, I don't know, I don't think that should instantly close you off to like, no more drugs.
That's
Like,
the
you
thing,
know.
people always feel like they should start on cannabis.
Yeah, it's the starter drug, but that's because it's been labelled as the gateway drug, you know, like, and that's probably why, like, I don't know, yeah. I just think everyone should have to take drugs at some point in their life, you know, I think it would help a lot.